Penny Pritzker, the former Secretary of Commerce from the Obama administration, and former Governor of New Jersey, Christine Todd Whitman. Ladies, thank you both for joining us. Penny, I'll start with you on the economy. You have been helping to lead many conference calls with anxious investors and executives wondering what an economy under the Biden administration could look like. What are you telling them, and what are they asking?
Well, first of all, you know, what the conversation is about is the fact that Joe Biden would be a good jobs president, and that's because he has a plan to create jobs, 7.4 million more jobs than Donald Trump, and, you know, jobs that would also produce $4,800 after-tax income for the average American. And that's exciting to not only business leaders, but everyone in America. How does he plan to do that? Investments in infrastructure, investments in green energy, investments in research and development, investments in our people, upskilling, making sure that they have the capabilities to do the jobs that are being created now in the 21st century. And so there's a lot of a recognition that's come around that Joe Biden has the plan to help improve our economy. And what he also understands is you've got to deal with COVID first, which means you've got to deal with the basically practicing good public health practices, mandating wearing a mask, making sure that he will deal with the fiasco that has been Trump's testing efforts, but unsuccessful efforts. He'll make sure that we're capable of taking care of all Americans in terms of health care. And so I think that you know, Joe Biden's plan, dealing with COVID, making good investments, creating good jobs, this is why people are excited about Joe Biden.
Christine, to you, Penny says that Biden would be a good jobs president. You know the energy sector better than most people. We know critical battleground states, Ohio and Pennsylvania, sit right on top of the Utica shale, jobs that depend on the ability to frack and to extract oil and gas, which the former vice president has said that he wants to transition away from. How much did that get to the nerves of people working in that industry? Do you think that's the right direction to take the country in?
Well, first of all, I do think it's the right direction because it's the direction that the energy companies are going in anyway. They are starting to move toward a greener form of energy. It's going to take a while. It's a transition, which is what Joe Biden has said. He is not going to stop fracking in those states, which he said again and again. But it's hard against the constant drumbeat that Trump has put out there that he's going to do away with fracking. No, he said on federal lands, but not in the Marcellus Shale. That is not part of it. And the private lands, it's not. But we have to move to a greener economy if we're going to try to save our planet, because climate change is a very real thing. It's costing us lots of money in very real terms, as well as lives, livelihoods, homes, businesses that are all being destroyed by droughts, fires, storms that we're having along the coasts. It's something that people are finally taking note of and understanding. And so I agree wholeheartedly that in order to get our economy back, the first thing we have to do is get this virus under control. And certainly Joe Biden has indicated he has a real commitment to that and understands it. And I would argue from an environmental point of view that actually you can see a link, because as the climate warms, you change ecosystems. And as you change ecosystems, pathogens change. Things come in contact that didn't before. We have animals that are now moving in closer to humans where they didn't before and passing on kinds of things that we haven't had to deal with before. And you can look at something like COVID and say, this is the sort of thing you can expect as the climate keeps changing dramatically. We need to get on top of this. And one thing is absolutely certain, is that under this administration, we have had no respect for science, whether it's to deal with COVID-19 and the science and the doctors, or to deal with the environment to help keep us safer. So I believe that Joe Biden will absolutely be a job producer. He is going to continue. He understands that we have to have a transition to a green economy as far as energy goes, but it will be a transition.